You won't believe what Juanita Bynum just said to her critics. In a heartfelt and emotional message that's shocking the internet, she directly addressed her haters, leaving fans and followers stunned. The words she shared reveal pain, resilience, and a side of her that few have ever seen. What exactly did she say, and why is the reaction so intense? Stay tuned, because what happens next will shock you and may change how you see Juanita Bynum forever. The internet is buzzing after Juanita Bynum released an emotional message directed at her haters. Known for her powerful sermons, spiritual teachings, and outspoken personality, Bynum has never shied away from speaking her truth. But this time, her words have taken the online world by storm, leaving fans, critics, and casual observers talking nonstop. In this video, we will break down everything that happened, from the moment she shared her message to the reactions that followed. You will hear details that few have covered, including the context of her emotional statements, the motivations behind them, and how this moment reflects both her personal journey and public persona. This is where it gets interesting. You will see how Juanita Bynum navigates criticism, responds to negativity, and turns online scrutiny into a powerful lesson in resilience and faith. By the end of this video, you will understand not only what she said, but why it matters to her followers, the public, and the broader conversation about faith, leadership, and handling criticism in the digital age. Stay with us, because the revelations ahead are emotional, controversial, and unforgettable. You will not want to miss a single moment of this breakdown. To understand the impact of Juanita Bynum's emotional words, we must first look at what led to this moment. Over the past few weeks, social media platforms have been flooded with commentary, speculation, and criticism directed at Bynum. From Twitter threads to Instagram posts, her critics voiced opinions on everything from her personal life to her ministry and public persona. While Bynum has faced criticism throughout her career, the intensity of this recent wave seemed to reach a tipping point, prompting her to respond in a direct and heartfelt manner. The catalyst appears to have been a series of posts and viral videos where critics questioned her authenticity and her approach to ministry. Some followers debated her teachings, while others focused on personal choices and public appearances. The online chatter grew rapidly, with hashtags trending and thousands of people engaging in discussions, both supportive and critical. In many ways, this digital scrutiny created a pressure cooker scenario for Bynum, where silence was no longer an option. Sources close to Juanita suggest that she initially hesitated to respond publicly. Known for her spiritual insight and reflective nature, she took time to pray, seek guidance, and consider the implications of addressing her critics directly. Unlike casual social media responses, Bynum's eventual message was carefully thought out, blending emotion, authority, and spiritual perspective. This approach ensured that her words would resonate deeply with followers while also sending a clear statement to detractors. The emotional message itself was shared through a video posted on her social media accounts, where she spoke directly to the camera, looking squarely into the lens as if addressing each critic individually. Her tone was both firm and vulnerable, conveying frustration, disappointment, and resilience all at once. She acknowledged the pain that negativity and judgment can inflict, while also asserting her commitment to her mission, her faith, and her personal growth. What made the moment even more impactful was the timing. The message came at a point when many believed that Bynum might retreat from public life, given the intensity of the criticism. Instead, she chose to confront the situation head-on, transforming what could have been a moment of retreat into one of empowerment and clarity. This decision not only grabbed attention, but also set the stage for broader discussions about leadership, authenticity, and the challenges of living a life under public scrutiny. Social media reactions were immediate and varied. Supporters praised Bynum for her courage, calling her words inspirational and a reminder of the power of resilience. Critics, meanwhile, debated the tone and content of her message, questioning whether it was defensive or genuinely transformative. The interplay between praise and criticism fueled further engagement, ensuring that her message would continue to dominate conversations across platforms for days. But here is the part that shocked many observers. Insiders indicate that Bynum's message was not just a response to external criticism. It also reflected a deeply personal journey, her reflections on past struggles, lessons learned in ministry, and a renewed commitment to living authentically. This means that behind the viral headlines and internet debates lies a story of growth, resilience, and spiritual perseverance, making her words far more significant than surface-level reactions might suggest. By examining the origin of this emotional message, we begin to understand why it struck such a chord with followers and why it generated such widespread discussion online. It was more than a reaction to criticism. It was a statement of identity, faith, and personal strength. In the next section, we will break down the content of Juanita Bynum's emotional message in detail, analyzing the key points, the most powerful statements, and the parts that left viewers stunned. This is where we uncover exactly what she said that shocked the internet and sparked such passionate reactions. Once Juanita Bynum decided to speak out, her message immediately captured the attention of her followers and critics alike. In the video she posted, Bynum addressed her haters directly, combining vulnerability, authority, and spiritual insight in a way that few public figures can achieve. The message was emotional, raw, and deeply personal, revealing not only her frustrations, but also her resilience and unwavering faith. At the start of the video, Bynum acknowledged the criticism and negativity she had received. She spoke about how online judgment, rumors, and harsh words can affect anyone, no matter their level of spiritual maturity or public influence. This acknowledgement immediately resonated with viewers, especially those who have experienced similar scrutiny in their own lives. She said, in essence, that criticism is inevitable when you are in the public eye, but it does not define who you are. One of the most striking moments in her message was when she addressed the motivations of her haters. Bynum spoke about envy, misunderstanding, and the human tendency to project negativity onto others. She reminded viewers that her critics often do not understand the full scope of her journey, including the personal and spiritual battles she has faced along the way. This candid insight added depth to her message, showing that her words were not just defensive, but reflective of real experiences and lessons learned. Bynum also used the video to reaffirm her mission and purpose. She emphasized that her work is about ministry, teaching, and empowering others, and that no amount of criticism can derail her commitment. By positioning herself in this way, she turned what could have been a simple response to negativity into a larger statement about purpose, perseverance, and authenticity. Followers were inspired by her refusal to let detractors dictate her narrative, and many expressed admiration for the way she handled the situation with dignity and strength. Throughout the video, Bynum's tone fluctuated between emotional vulnerability and spiritual authority. She spoke passionately about the importance of faith in navigating challenges, urging viewers to focus on their own growth rather than engaging in negativity. This combination of heartfelt honesty and spiritual wisdom is what made the message so impactful and shareable. Social media users quickly began quoting lines from the video, turning her words into viral statements that spread far beyond her usual audience. Perhaps the most shocking part of the message came when Bynum directly confronted her critics with a challenge. She asked them to reflect on their own motives, their own fears, and the reasons they project negativity onto others. By doing this, she shifted the conversation from her personal experiences to a broader discussion about human behavior, accountability, and self-awareness. This bold move caught many by surprise, as it transformed a message that could have been seen as purely defensive into a lesson in personal growth and reflection. The reactions to the video were immediate and intense. Supporters praised Bynum for her courage, calling her words inspirational and empowering. Many commented that her transparency and vulnerability were refreshing in a world where public figures often respond with defensiveness or avoidance. Critics, on the other hand, debated whether her message was too direct, too emotional, or perhaps even confrontational. This mix of praise and critique fueled further engagement, ensuring that the video would dominate conversations across social media platforms for days. Insiders suggest that Bynum's emotional delivery and carefully chosen words were the result of deep reflection and prayer. Rather than reacting impulsively, she appears to have crafted a message that balances vulnerability with authority, honesty with grace, and personal reflection with spiritual insight. This level of intentionality is likely one of the reasons why the video resonated so strongly with viewers and why it continues to generate discussion long after it was first posted. But here's the part many observers missed. Bynum's message also contained subtle hints about her future plans. She spoke about continuing her ministry, expanding her teachings, and using her platform to inspire resilience and faith. This suggests that the message was not only a response to her haters, but also a strategic moment to reaffirm her public presence and set the tone for what comes next in her career. By breaking down the content of her emotional message, we can see why Juanita Bynum has captured the attention of the internet once again. Her words were not only shocking, but also deeply meaningful, offering lessons in resilience, faith, and personal empowerment. As soon as Juanita Bynum's emotional message went public, the response was immediate, widespread, and intense. Across social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, followers, critics, and casual viewers began reacting to her words, sparking discussions that continue to ripple through the internet. This moment quickly became more than a personal message. It turned into a viral phenomenon, highlighting not just Bynum's influence, but also the way modern audiences interact with public figures and spiritual leaders. Supporters of Juanita Bynum praised her for her bravery and authenticity. Many described the video as inspirational, noting that it was rare to see a public figure confront negativity with such transparency and grace. Fans flooded the comment sections with messages of encouragement, sharing how her words resonated with their personal experiences. They expressed admiration for her courage, emphasizing that responding to critics publicly in such a vulnerable yet authoritative manner takes remarkable strength. For many, the video became a source of empowerment, reminding them of the importance of resilience, faith, and self-respect. On the other hand, critics had their own opinions, sparking debates about tone, intention, and appropriateness. Some suggested that the message, while emotional, came across as confrontational or defensive. Others questioned the timing of the video and speculated about whether it was strategically released to boost engagement rather than simply address criticism. These critiques fueled further discussion, drawing in more viewers and creating a dynamic conversation that extended beyond her immediate audience. The mix of praise and criticism amplified the reach of the message, ensuring it would remain a trending topic for days. The faith community itself responded in unique ways. Church leaders, pastors, and fellow ministers offered analysis and commentary on the implications of Bynum's message. Some applauded her for addressing negativity with spiritual insight and encouraging self-reflection, noting that it set a powerful example for followers facing similar criticism. Others saw the video as an opportunity to discuss leadership, accountability, and the role of public perception in ministry. Online sermons, podcasts, and discussion panels began referencing her message as a case study in handling controversy and maintaining authenticity in a digital age. Social media reactions were particularly noteworthy. Hashtags related to the video began trending, with clips from the video being shared widely and reaction videos popping up across platforms. Younger audiences, in particular, engaged with the content in creative ways, making memes, sharing quotes, and creating discussion threads that analyzed every moment of her delivery. The combination of emotional authenticity, spiritual authority, and viral relevance made the message a cultural touchpoint, sparking conversations not only about Bynum herself, but also about broader themes such as resilience, authenticity, and confronting negativity. Insider sources also reveal that the viral reaction prompted private conversations within Bynum's inner circle. Advisors and ministry team members reportedly discussed how to manage the public's response, balance transparency with discretion, and leverage the momentum to reinforce her message of empowerment. This strategic approach highlights that while the video appeared raw and emotional, it was also carefully aligned with her goals of encouraging followers, asserting her authority, and reclaiming the narrative. Another key aspect of the fallout is the broader discussion it sparked about the pressures faced by public figures in faith and ministry. Observers noted that even leaders with decades of experience are not immune to criticism or public scrutiny. Bynum's message became a platform for discussing how negativity affects mental health, spiritual confidence, and personal growth. By confronting her haters publicly, she shifted the conversation from personal attacks to larger lessons about resilience, reflection, and maintaining integrity in the face of adversity. Perhaps the most intriguing revelation from this fallout is the ripple effect it created. Followers and aspiring leaders alike began sharing personal stories about overcoming criticism, inspired by Bynum's words. Churches, ministry groups, and online communities used the video as a teaching tool, highlighting lessons about humility, faith, and strategic response to negativity. The message transcended the immediate controversy, becoming an educational moment for a broader audience. But here is the shocking part many observers did not anticipate. Insiders suggest that this viral moment may have influenced upcoming projects and initiatives in Bynum's ministry. The widespread engagement and renewed public attention appear to have created opportunities for her to expand her outreach, connect with a wider audience, and even explore new ways to deliver her teachings. This means the emotional message was not just a reaction to haters, it may also mark a turning point in her public career, shaping the next phase of her ministry. By examining the reactions, community engagement, and long-term implications, we can see that Juanita Bynum's emotional words had far-reaching effects. It was more than a viral moment. It became a cultural conversation, a lesson in resilience, and a potential catalyst for new ministry initiatives. Juanita Bynum's emotional message is more than just a viral moment or a response to critics. It offers profound lessons for leadership, personal growth, and navigating public life, especially within the context of ministry and faith-based communities. By examining the broader implications, we can better understand why this moment has resonated so deeply and why it matters to her, followers, and the wider public. First, the message highlights the importance of resilience in the face of criticism. Juanita Bynum has faced public scrutiny for years, but she consistently demonstrates the ability to confront negativity without losing sight of her mission. Her approach shows that true resilience is not about avoiding criticism, but responding to it thoughtfully, strategically, and with authenticity. Leaders in any field can learn from this approach, acknowledging challenges while staying focused on purpose and growth. Second, her message underscores the power of authenticity. Bynum spoke from the heart, blending vulnerability with authority in a way that feels real and relatable. This authenticity strengthens trust and credibility with followers, showing that leaders do not have to hide their emotions or personal struggles to be effective. In an era dominated by social media and public scrutiny, authenticity has become one of the most valuable traits a leader can demonstrate, and Bynum's message exemplifies this perfectly. Third, the incident reveals critical lessons about communication and public perception. By choosing to address her haters directly yet thoughtfully, Bynum controlled the narrative rather than allowing misinformation, speculation, or negativity to dominate. The message was carefully crafted to convey strength without arrogance, empathy without weakness, and authority without aggression. For anyone managing a public platform, especially in ministry or leadership, this demonstrates the power of deliberate, intentional communication in shaping how messages are received. Another significant lesson lies in turning challenges into opportunities. Juanita Bynum's message did not simply respond to criticism. It transformed a potentially negative situation into a moment of empowerment, teaching, and reflection. This approach illustrates the concept of reframing adversity, using difficult situations as a catalyst for growth, connection, and meaningful dialogue. Followers and aspiring leaders can apply this principle in their own lives, learning how to navigate criticism while maintaining focus on their goals and values. The impact of this message also extends to the broader faith community. Ministers, pastors, and leaders are observing how Bynum handled her critics, sparking conversations about accountability, mentorship, and guidance in the digital age. It encourages leaders to be transparent, reflective, and courageous in addressing negativity while setting boundaries that protect both themselves and their communities. In this way, the moment becomes a teaching tool not only for followers, but also for other leaders in ministry. Importantly, the message reinforces the intersection of faith, personal development, and public life. Bynum's words emphasize the role of spirituality in navigating challenges, reminding viewers that faith can provide strength, clarity, and perspective when facing opposition. She balances personal reflection with spiritual insight, offering lessons on how to handle conflict with integrity, grace, and purpose.